Yo, how you guys doing? It's Jose, and today I'm gonna show y'all how to do a mid-skin fade right in the chair. I got my little brother, and if you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments below. I'll be sure to answer y'all. And now I ain't finna waste you guys' time, so let's get right to it. Alright guys, so as y'all can see, we're gonna start off with the ball line first, and you guys wanna make a nice little arch all the way across to the back of the head. For this tutorial purpose, I'm only going to show you guys one side of the head, and then at the end I'll show you how to connect both of the sides to the back of the head. Another thing guys is make sure you guys are doing your guys' lines as nice and even as you guys can. That will determine how the fade will look at the end. So don't rush it and take your time guys. Alright, so here we're going to start the debulking process. So make sure everything is nice and even, and you guys want to make everything bald. You don't want to leave anything towards the end. So try to make everything as smooth as possible. That'll save time later at the end. Alright guys, so here we're going to open up the lever all the way, or the lever way open. And we're going to go about a thumb's width, and you guys make sure you stay consistent with this guideline. You don't want to make it uneven, because then the fade will turn out uneven, as I said in the beginning. So just go over and go over so it'll all be the same length. You don't want to have a little bit longer on one side and then shorter on the other. So just keep going over and over it again until it's all nice and even. Alright guys, so our next step would be the one guard all the way open. And as I did previous, you guys want to go about a thumb's width and just go all the way across on the side of the head, and make sure you guys keep that line consistent. And I know I said this before guys, but please take your time on these guidelines, because this will really determine how the fade will turn out once you're done. So just keep going over and over it until you think that it's all nice and even. Alright guys, so here I'm going to use my number 3 guard, and this is only to debulk some of the weight on top of his head. So as you guys can see, it goes straight off from the head. You don't want to turn your clippers in or twist them out. Just keep them flat and go straight off from the head. Alright, so here I got my number 2 guard all the way open, and we're going to use this on the side of the head right above where we did our number 1 guard. And as always, keep your guidelines nice and consistent. Don't make them too thin or don't make them too thick. And guys, also be mindful that I did go over the number 3 guard right on top of that, so you don't want to bring that number 2 all the way up there. Alright, so here we got our 1.5 guard, and I'm going to close it just a little bit. I don't think I closed it all the way, but almost all the way. So here we're going to use this to take out that line that we created between the number 1 and the number 2. And be mindful that anytime you go up trying to erase a line, always open up your lever. That way you don't push the fade all the way up. A very important thing is, every time you fade, always remember to use only the corner of the guard. You don't want to use the whole clipper, because that will just make another line that you will have to erase. So only use the corners here. And every time you go up, remember to just go up with the lever. Alright, so here I'm going to erase the line that I initially created with the lever all the way open. So to do that, we close the lever all the way, and as I said, only use the corner of the blade to fade out that line. Anytime, and remember, anytime you go up, open up the lever little by little until you make it all the way to that 1 guard. So once I make it all the way to the 1 guard, you can see that I open up all the way. And as I go lower, I will close my lever little by little. And guys, I know that I keep repeating this, but please, it's very important that you take your time. I know you guys might get overwhelmed, but just trust the process and just follow the steps, and I'm sure you guys will be able to do just fine. Also, if you guys have any questions, just drop them down in the comments, and I'll be sure to answer each and one of you guys. Okay, so finally we got our 0.5 or a half guard closed, and we're gonna start. One important tip is to start right below the line. Do not start at the line, but start before and flick to the line. And each time you go up, just open it up little by little. Remember to always move your lever, and don't just keep it at one single spot. Always open it and close every time you move that guard. Another main thing that I do is I always like to brush the hair away. Every time I fade, I like to keep a brush in my hand so I can brush and I can have a clean canvas to work on, so that I don't try to erase a line that's really not there. So I really recommend you guys to get a brush and start brushing each time you fade. Alright guys, so once I'm done, one of the most important things to do is detail work. So here I got my number 1 guard, and I can see a couple dark spots here. So using the corner of my blade, and only the corner of my blade, I will go over them. I still see some dark spot left on the canvas, so I would get the 1.5, and I would just flick those lines that I see that are a little bit darker than the others. Another tip is, if you don't really see any dark spots, go with your phone or use a mirror or use anything, and I'm pretty sure you guys will find any imperfections that you guys might have missed with the eye. So as I said in the beginning of the video, I was going to do both of the sides. I was only going to show you one of the sides, but then I was going to show you guys how to connect the back. So that's what I'm doing right now. So here I'm sitting in my ball line with my trimmers, and then I'm debulking all the rest of the hair that he has down his neck. And make sure you go over with the trimmer multiple times so you get each hair and leave the canvas as clean as possible. Alright, so just how I did on the side of the head with the lever open, I'm going to create our first guideline towards the back. And since it is the back, you have a larger canvas to work on with, so I like to spread my fade a little bit more towards the back. So instead of doing like a 1/2 inch, I would do a full inch on the back. Alright, so again, we're going to use our 1 guard all the way open, and we're going to create another guideline right above where we did the lever open. And like I said earlier, the back of the head, it is a little bit wider, so I do like to do a full inch on the back of the head. Now with our number 2 guard, we're going to create another guideline right on top where we did the number 1, about 1 inch up. And as you guys can see here, it's all connecting together, both of the sides with the back of the head. And now with our biggest guard, which is the number 3, we're going to go straight off from the head, and this is only to debulk some of the hair on top and not to make another guideline. So go straight off from the head. And now to get rid of that line between the 1 and the 2, we're going to use our 1.5 guard, and only using the corners, we're going to flick up to the line, and as soon as every time we go up, we're going to open up the lever little by little. Another thing is, in some cases, that 1.5 will not take out that line between the 1 and the 2, so you might want to go back with number 1 and only using the corners, try to fade out that line. And now to get rid of that initial guideline with the lever open, we're going to close up the lever all the way and try to take out that first guideline. And remember, each time you go up, open up the lever little by little, so that once you make it all the way to the top, your lever is fully open. Now using our 1/2 guard or a 0.5, we're going to do the same thing and flick below the line to the line with the lever closed. And each time we go up a little bit higher, remember to open up the lever little by little. And now that I'm finished, I want to detail my work. So as you can see here, I got my 1.5, and using the corners, I'm trying to flick out those dark spots. Now using my number 1, I'm going to do the same thing and trying to flick out those darker spots that I see. So the 1 didn't get all those dark areas out, so I'm going to go back with my 1/2 guard and just flick out those darker spots that I still see in the fade. Alright guys, so there y'all have it. This is the final product. As y'all can see, this is a nice mid fade. And if you guys have any questions, just leave them down in the comments below and I'll try to answer each one of y'all. And I did record a 360 with this on my iPhone, so I'm about to put that clip in right now so you guys can see. And if y'all mess with the cut, make sure to follow me, share this with your friends, like this video. I'll be back with more tutorials, and I'm out.